I'm with Paul Mason, and I've been at this Catholic Composers Forum today. And Paul, welcome to Catholica. You've been working on the formation of an Australian Pastoral Musicians Network for about how long?
Since middle of 2007, I guess, was the first thought of such a thing, which came out of a discussion of a group of liturgists that met in Sydney at the time. And then last year, middle of last year, a group of composers and musicians also met and also tended towards this idea of there's this great desire to have an Australian network for pastoral musicians.
What I picked up from the meeting today is that there seemed to be a coming together of a number of things, the changes that are going on in church music, and justice issues about, are composers and musicians adequately rewarded for the effort that they put in, and also just a professional coming together of the group.
Yes.
Is this correct?
Yes, I think that there are lots and lots of issues that are of concern to pastoral musicians, and the other thing is that around the country, in different places, pastoral musicians have been coming together. They network well. I guess they feel they're all in the same kind of ministry, and so it's to build on that. It's to be able to provide.
So just spell out what sort of people you're targeting. Are they just composers, or
no?
Is it? Yeah.
So it's the singer and the organ player and the piano player in the parish, the guitarist.
Yeah.
It's the musicians in the schools. So it's also at a cathedral level. It's dioceses. Many dioceses are very strong in providing support to musicians at the moment through formation programs through the year, and so at a local level there is already quite a deal of networking going on.
Yep.
This is to look at overlaying a national level of networking through website, through discussion forums on the internet, and through having a biannual conference focused on music.
Now, at the moment, you're not actually a formal body. What you're doing is you're in the process of setting up a not-for-profit agency or
an association.
An association, and you're acting as convener here on the East Coast or New South Wales, is it?
I'm one of the interested parties, and it comes down to who's prepared to put in how many hours to get the thing to roll. And it's good that since last July...
But it is national, because Angela Gorman in Western Australia has been doing a lot of work, and she looks as though she's the main convener. Is that correct?
She's acted as we're looking to establish the association through the state organisation, the state government in Western Australia. Each state has its own legislation in this area, so you have to pick some place. Yeah. So we've chosen to establish there, and Angela is very keen and has been very involved in that process.
Yeah.
And then other people have been looking at the drafting of the Constitution. Some people have been looking at the broader aspects to do with, say, as we saw today, composer representation kind of issues. We've also had good interest from publishers. Yeah. So that's both the music publishers and also journals. Who are in this area of pastoral musicians, pastoral music, and so there's a good deal of support and interest, which happens to have come together now, which is great. And of course, it's a great time in the church because so much is going to happen in the next 18 months with the new missal, translations, all of that.
And then one of the other issues that came up today was this problem that it happens really at the parish level of understanding how this whole process of copyright works, because parishes have to pay quite a significant amount of money each year, which is eventually supposed to be distributed in an equitable way to how popular various bits of music are within the setting. So one of the things I presume we're looking at is better education of parishes and streamlining the processes as to how all this reporting goes on, is it?
Well, certainly in providing information and educating parishes so they understand copyright.
Yeah.
In this particular case, sort of facilitating ways that can help composers and publishers too receive their just rewards from the copyright payments that parishes make.
Yeah.
So that's a very important thing. That certainly that's one of the facets that the Australian Pastoral
Have we ever had a pastoral musicians network in Australia before, or
at a national level? Brother Colin Smith, who would be well known to many people, did look to set up such a network probably maybe 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But it didn't continue to run. Didn't have the legs. At a diocesan level, there have been many good successes. With the diocesan organisations providing support and formation and education and opportunities for growth for musicians.
Well, you certainly had a good gathering of some of the leading names that everybody would recognise in any ordinary Australian Catholic parish for the songs they sing today. So
yes.
There seems to be a lot of enthusiasm for this new initiative. So
it's
I
great.
thank you for talking to us, and we'll see what more publicity this gets as the word gets out and around this country. And I'll publish on our website the details of how people can contact you or Angela, and we can see where it goes from there.
But thanks very much, Brian, and thanks for the opportunity to be able to talk about this wonderful new venture, Australian Pastoral Musicians Network.